Boom. Man, intro with the Phoenix. I love it, man. It's been a minute. It's always nice seeing that. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of CJTV. I am your host, CJ. As would be expected for those that know, for those that don't know, I'm CJTV, covering things that we feel are culturally relevant and or just anything I might find a fancy for. Today, however, we're going to be jumping into what has become an insanely focused topic around the country. It's a political football. It's been passed back and forth. It's been the cause of a lot of fighting in the streets, fighting in the schools, fighting in businesses. It's one that on either side has become just pretty much an insane like dogfight, right? The thing we've seen though is the fundamental aspects of what we're dealing with here, and we're talking about transgender rights. Now, we're talking about transgender rights as they believe they are or should be available to individuals in public businesses. Now, Washington State has been in the center of a ton of controversy based off some bills that are being passed and some of the lobbyist actions that are taking place. Now, right now, what's going to be happening today, so if you are just jumping in or you're not aware, please share the stream, put it out, and let everybody know what's going on. They've had calls for the city to be shut down, basically, in Lynnwood, Washington, which is kind of up northeast a little bit, not very far, just outside of Seattle by about 25, 30 minutes at the most. The thing about that, however, you've got what's now, and it might just be a hashtag grab, but you have TranTifa, which you've got a lot of Antifa backing these transgender rights, kind of coming in as the foot soldiers. You've got these 3% Patriot groups that are meeting up in the streets. And what's happening with it right now is the same thing that happened with Wii Spa when I was out live covering it in Los Angeles. And we'll touch on that in a little bit, where you have a person who is pre-operation transitional individual. And I'm going to try to be as politically correct as possible in my terminology with everything I use, because I really am not trying to polarize and or feed any kind of chamber of echoes at all. You guys realize I'm down the middle of the line on this. I definitely have my personal beliefs and views, and they're going to bleed through. But at the most, I'm going to do my best to just let you see what's happening, give you some relevant background, and then show you a little bit of context, maybe from both sides as best I can. Some of these are a little bit harder to find context for one side or the other. However, it's no less important that we stay open to what we, to other people's views and opinions, whether or not we agree with them or not. It may just reinforce how you feel. So what's happening now is, like I said, this person who's pre-operation transgender man, still anatomically a male, made a claim against this Olympus Spa in Lynnwood, saying that they were being denied access to the facilities. Now, these facilities, and I'm going to show you a quick video here, kind of identifies it a little bit better as to why this is important, have nude areas that are no clothing allowed. So it's nudity is a portion of it. Now, it's a underage and up club or facility. Now, this is the fight, right? Now, are we allowing anatomical males who claim to be female based off of their belief pre-operation into locations that do not allow men? Now we're talking about exposure to children, to male genitalia and things of that nature that I personally, I can't agree with that. I feel that there are definitely going to be an emergence of businesses that are going to be, non-binary, gender neutral, non-specific, whatever you want to call them, facilities open for all, right? And I feel like a lot of these transgender organizations and transgender rights and these civil rights fights that are going on about this, they need to start focusing their efforts on maybe opening facilities based on that pretense, right? Instead of forcing businesses that have been in operation for years and years and years and years to change their fundamental ideology and their beliefs and their entire business structure, not just through the ethos of the business, but physically. Like, we're talking physically having to alter the business itself. I'm talking sinking money into remodeling and things for people's personal feelings. Now, it's something that I can't get behind. I mean, we saw things go all the way back, and not that these two are directly related, but to when they changed smoking rights. I had a friend that had humidors, like a Scotch and cigar lounge, and he had to shut his doors because he wasn't able to do things there. Now, and I appreciate everyone jumping in the comments here, man. If you're just watching, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Share the stream, but say hello. I know I haven't been vacant from the stream for a little while, but we're back. So I'm going to show you guys a quick clip. We're going to step into here. I'm waiting for my guy who's live on the streets there in Lynnwood to get dialed in, and then we're going to go ahead and show you guys and take you live, and we're going to watch it together. This is what's going on with this spa, as according to the local Fox 13 news. So, you know, say what you will about the news organizations. I feel the same way, but this is going to tell us a little bit more, and we'll look at a few other ones too. So let's make sure we've got this. And in the comments, let me know if there's any problems with the audio or anything else. So,
a transgender woman says she's been flooded with hate messages and death threats after a court battle with a spa in Lynnwood. The Korean spa has a biological woman policy. It's a place known for their saunas and baths where women publicly walk around naked. Haven Wilvich filed a complaint against Olympus Spa with the Washington Human Rights Commission, and the commission sided with her, finding that the policy was discriminatory.
And last week, a judge dismissed the spa's countersuit, but Wilvich, even with the legal wins, the damage, she says, has already been done. She sat down with Fox 13's Nia Wong, breaking down what exactly happened. Nia?
Thank you, Holly.
Haven Wilvich's complaint was filed back in 2020, and she thought it had been resolved, but it turns out it was only the beginning after her full name surfaced in court documents.
Through the ebbs and flows of life, Haven Wilvich says she can count on the love of her family and support from the community.
I'm glad that there are laws that protect people like me in the state and that judges are willing to uphold those.
Wilvich is talking about a district judge's recent motion to dismiss a lawsuit filed by Olympus Spa. She's not named as a defendant, but it mentions when Wilvich was invited to an event at Olympus Spa in 2020, one that she didn't even get to go to.
I called ahead to see if I would be allowed to attend as a trans woman. Unfortunately, I was told no.
Court documents say Olympus Spa's locations in Lynnwood and Tacoma are female only. Wilvich says Olympus Spa had an issue with her using the spa, as she had not had gender-affirming surgery at that time. But according to Washington state law, she had a right to be there.
It was illegal to exclude trans women from women's spaces. So I reached out to the Human Rights Commission and in hopes that they could help the spa change their policies and be more inclusive.
In 2021, the commission sided with Wilvich. Olympus Spa dropped the biological women phrase from its website, and staff underwent inclusivity training.
I was told that the case was over.
She says unbeknownst to her, the spa sued the Washington State Human Rights Commission in 2022, saying its First Amendment right was violated when it came to its religious and cultural beliefs.
It's still disappointing to see the amount of animosity that goes towards our community every time these laws are upheld.
When a district judge made a motion to dismiss the lawsuit last week, Haven says that's when she started getting bombarded with hateful messages, some even threatening her life from all over the world.
They're coming from people who claim to be feminists, groups known as TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminists, and from the far right.
Wilvich doesn't regret filing the complaint.
So many acronyms nowadays, man. So many things to try to remember.
She made to the Washington State Human Rights Commission.
I think that minority people who report hate crimes and violations of human rights laws should be protected from public disclosure.
She's hoping the agency's
public records are public records, man,
to protect others from the harassment she's had to endure. Despite this Pride Month starting off distressing, she is not defeated.
Nobody should be subjected to hate speech and threats of violence because of who they are in this country.
Haven and her wife Molly celebrate their trans joy.
The thing that they hate the most is when we're happy.
A judge may have made a motion to dismiss.
I don't agree with that at all.
Olympus Spa has until July 5th to file an amended complaint and refile.
Absolutely don't agree with that.
Lawyer who says she found problems with this motion and says this isn't over.
We will, go through briefing, go through oral arguments, most likely the motion will be granted. We will appeal that to the Ninth Circuit, and then we will likely ask for review from the Supreme Court, because these are important issues.
Kathy, I'm good. Thank you.
For the Washingtonians and the country at large.
Okay, so we're not going to jump into these here. So one of the things that I heard recently, which I thought was pretty powerful, and we're talking about these feminist groups, right? And well, the civil rights that were put into place to protect women and to give women the rights to have these places that were empowering women. And I find it crazy that we're in a day and age now where that's being dissected and destroyed. And a lot of feminists, I feel, are sitting the fence right now. They're kind of sitting back because they're afraid of the cultural, rebuttal from the hard left that's going to say, hey, we're going to shut you down, cancel. Even doing this report, honestly, is one I kind of avoided, because you're speaking up against what we believe and what we think. And then the censorship factor where we're saying, hey, we're not allowed to say anything that goes against what we personally feel, what we think. And when did that become the thing? When did it become, the norm to shoot down somebody's ship because you don't like how it sails, And that's where I've lost so much of all of the things that are happening right now, where it's just a cloud of confusion. I support anyone's civil liberties, personally, and I definitely I encourage anybody, if whatever makes you happy, if you want to identify as a man, a woman, a cat, a helicopter, man, go at it. Be you. Be the best you can be. Be the best you can be, so you can be the best part of the community you live in and the best advocate for the world we live in as far as living a happy, healthy life, right? Good. Do it. Great, grand, wonderful. But when you start stepping out and saying, now you have to think like me, believe like me, and work like me, and act like me, and work within the structures of what makes me feel, whatever you fill in the blanks with, well, now you're stepping on other people's civil rights, and their liberties. So I feel like we're losing a lot of ground when it comes to some of the changes we made in the country. And a lot of people are saying how terrible it is. We got these people that are fighting, training people, teaching young folks to hate America, which is wild to me. Because if you look how far we've come, I celebrate our country and how far we've gone in the 300 plus years that we've been a nation. Look at where we're at. I mean, look at where we're going. And it's about perseverance, right? We're going to persevere. We're going to keep moving through the change. We're going to keep the iterations of change. It's going to happen. And all of this is radical right now, but so was the summer of 2020, if you remember. And a lot of things stayed in the summer of 2020. They bled out into 2021. Elections came and went, and things kind of disappeared, right? Kind of faded away. So it is what it is, but I support people to be the best person, the person they can be, the best version of themselves, whatever that is, identify as whatever you want. But when you start saying, hey, your business directly affects me, violates me. We have strip clubs right now that sexualize women, right? But sex work it's a line of work. And I'm not speaking up against that at all. That's the 100%. If you found a way to make it work, it's been around since the beginning of time. Do you, right? But now they're saying this spa has to shut down. And the reason it's a problem for the right, if you go that route, is because there's children involved. And that's where I'm seeing this crazy battle in the streets, right? Everyone's talking about protecting the children and how we're these anti-trans movement, right? The rights that are moving against trans rights. You hear that scream, like, you're killing children. And then the other side is indoctrinating our children, So we're talking about kids, right? Talking about kids. How confusing is it for them in the middle to be looking at all this and watching this and being like, I don't know what the hell's going on. But I know I see it in my own family, my nieces and people that are close to me. There's a lot of questions that are being asked that it's great to ask them, but the answers are so fickle now because there's no real answer to give. There's no direct line that you can go with on this one. So things are changing, man. Things are changing, and I hope that we're moving in the better. So let's keep looking at some stuff here. I don't want you to lose the summer of love, Mr. Bill in Portland. They call it a summer of love. I didn't see much love through tear gas, flashbang grenades, bottles, and Molotov cocktails. That was not a lot of love. Let's go ahead. I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to show you guys the actual court document that was a part of the. So this is. Let me get out of the way here. Let's see if I can zoom in for you here. So this was the complaint that was made, right? Washington State Human Rights Commission complaint. Well, you can read it here. Haven Wilvich was against the Olympus Spa up in Lynnwood. I charge the above named respondent with an unfair practice and or aiding and abetting in the commission of an unfair practice as defined by the Washington State Law Against Discrimination, Chapter 49.60. This complaint arises from discrimination in public accommodations on the basis of sexual orientation. Okay. The following is a summary of my complaint. I am a transgender woman. Respondent is a place of public accommodation. All right. We're hitting the key points. In January 2020, I went to respondent spa for service. That's highlighted because this person in this claim, in this complaint, never actually went to the spa. And I want to make that clear. They made a call just asking, as you saw in that video, from that person's mouth themselves. Said, no, I called to see if it was okay. But they say, I went to respondent spa for service. Respondent owner denied me services and stated that transgender women without surgery are not welcome because it could make other customers and staff uncomfortable. I believe the respondent denied me equal services due to my sexual orientation. What was it? Your anatomy. Like, because you have had, and I believe this person's gone through operation at this point. Don't quote me on that. If you know in the comments, please put it in there, but I want to make sure that I'm not overstepping that. But the respondent, okay, I believe I have been discriminated against because of sexual orientation when respondent denied me equal services based on my sexual orientations. Here's the problem there, though, right? And these are the words that get me. These are the ones that get me as we're looking at this, right? So we have this complaint, and it says, this is where I don't get it right. Without surgery, okay, the respondent owner denied me services and stated that transgender women without surgery are not welcome because it could make other customers, paying customers, and staff who live or work there to provide themselves livelihood uncomfortable. Well, I'm assuming that the complainant here, Haven Wilvich, felt uncomfortable because they were being denied services because they had the anatomy that went against the structure of the club, right? This spa. So we're talking about comfortability, right? Well, it doesn't make me comfortable. I feel uncomfortable with this. I feel uncomfortable with that. Nobody cares about your comfort level, right? At the end of the day, we don't have to care about each other's comfort level. You can't spit in my face. You can't assault me. You can say what you want about me, and trust me, people will, and they do, and they have, and they will continue to, because no matter what you do, people are going to have an opinion, right? Makes me uncomfortable, and I'd love it if the world would just stop them from being able to do it, but that's not how it works. You can't stop the world from making you feel uncomfortable. That's just where we're at in this day and age. You're going to deal with it, and you're going to have to soldier on. But in these situations, they're saying, I want your business to shut down or change services because I don't like the way it made me feel that I couldn't come in. And they're saying, hey, we don't like the way it makes our employees or the little girls that are in there feel when they have to sit next to a naked man in a hot tub and deal with that fact. You know, all you're saying. And then this, well, down to personal feelings, personal rights, right? So we're going that direction. And that's where the question, Kristen, on YouTube comes in. Is there the right to refuse service? Do we still have that? And I'd be curious. Anyone that wants to look that up, feel free in the comments. And I love that about our stream here, is we're able to interact here, as a community. Is there a right to refuse service? And we'll go specifically to Washington State right now. So now this is Olympus Spa right here. Okay, let's show you guys. So it is. It's, I believe, a Korean-based spa, which is part of like the spa structure and build, right? Out on Lynnwood. And in February 2020, a transgender woman who identified as a woman, but is biologically male and has not undergone sex reassignment surgery, filed a complaint with the commission. Miss Wilvich's complaint alleges that she went to Olympus Spa in January 2020 in search of services, but was discriminated against because of her sexual orientation and denied equal services based on her sexual orientation. Miss Wilvich was denied services, but told the transgender women without surgery are not welcome because it could make other customers and staff feel uncomfortable. So there's more of the official complaint. That's the lawyer. This is the actual spa itself. This is what it looks like. So you can imagine if you're in here, right, and you've got young ladies and grown men, floating about in the pool, there's going to be an issue. I would personally have an issue with it. I would feel uncomfortable. Here's the thing. I would feel radically uncomfortable, wildly uncomfortable being naked next to a child I don't know, like sitting in a pool. We're not European. Maybe that's a very European thing. I'm not, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It's just not, it's not a thing you do, I don't do. I would, some people are just very much in that world. So this was Wilvich prior to what you saw in that video, right? So if this was or was not, but I mean, this is the person, right? I think this is pre-op that's going to be hanging out and, in a hot tub with a, 15-year-old young woman, and where are we at over here? Sorry. And then this was kind of one of the tweets that was put out by Wilvich thereafter. I did it. I worked with the Washington Human Rights Commission and got Olympus Spa, the main naked lady spa in the area, to change their policies and allow all self-identified women access, regardless of surgery and genitals. Here's the question I've got, and I don't know if anyone's asked this yet, and I hope that we can find an answer for it. Has this person, Haven Wilvich, actually gone back to the spa since getting gender reassigned? Haven, if you're watching, or if you happen to get hit and tagged in this, I would love to know. And I really am curious. once you got gender reassignment, did you actually go and take advantage of the policy that allows you there? Or is it more or less that you just, or is there just so much hate towards the spa for ever having any discriminatory notions towards you in whatever pre or post situation you might have been, that you just don't want to be there? And that's the case, fine, fair play. But once being reassigned, which is just a funny way to say it, I think, is reassigned. Like, I was reassigned to my company that I worked for at one point, but it was to a different department. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel like it's a proper term. Either way, did you go back in Wii Spa? Did the person who made the original complaint down there in LA, and I'll show you some footage from that one, that got wild. People getting beat in the street, police, tear gas. I'm talking flashbangs, rubber bullets. Did you go back and use the club, or was it just a way to say, hey, I got the main naked lady spa in the area to change their policies and allow self-identified women access regardless of surgery and genitals? How was it when you went back? Did you feel like they were open? Has anyone else gone in that has been? And I would love to have anybody reach out to me, cj@cjtv.live. If you have, in fact, been into a club, a spa, and if you happen to be post-operation transgender reassigned, and you guys, I'm sorry, there's so many different acronyms and different, terminology. I'm not trying to be pejorative. I promise you that. If no matter where you're at on this line, I'm really not trying to be pejorative, negative, condescending, anything. I really am curious. Have you gone into the club? Has anyone gone into one of these clubs that's been gender reassigned? And what was it like? And had you tried to go before? We're going to go deeper into this. We've got reporters in multiple places that are looking into it. So stay tuned for that, I guess we'll have to say. So that's where Haven went with it. And then this is Haven now, right? This is what we saw in the interview. So it's a different look, it's a different look altogether. You've got, in the original one is a man with the beard, full blown, you look at a man, and I'm sorry, but aesthetics are what it is. We look at somebody and I see a man. I see someone who's black because the color of their skin is black. I see a black person. That's what it is. I see, so that's just how it goes, right? Someone looks at me and sees a big bald white guy. They're like, oh yeah, when they ask, well, how would you describe him? Well, he was a white male, about 6 foot tall, 250 pounds, yada, yada, yada. They're not going to be like, I'm not sure. He could have been there was some fluidity to his color. He had a decent tan. I don't know. Maybe he was light, dark skinned or dark, light skinned. I don't know. I don't want to I don't want to harsh on his weight because that would be negative. And, I guess it would be a derogatory way to approach his weight. Maybe he has issues with how he weighs. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. So he's kind of in between a weight that is nothing and is a lot more than something. And height wise, well, he was kind of yayish big. There you go. Go with that. Good luck. Right. Sorry, but you look at somebody, you can describe them right there. Hey, this is what they look like. Right? This is since the beginning of time. That's how it goes. You can't go any further than that. And I wonder if this was just a chance to grab attention. Was this person doing this because they really wanted to make some changes, or were they just looking to grab some attention? So it's tough to know. And that one we were looking at came out of the the Daily Mail was that particular article that we were just looking at. And again, I know there's people that are going to go ahead and, you've got probably a list of left, right news outlets. I don't care, as long as it's not like directly, attacking or persecuting one or the other. If they're giving a really, truly unbiased accounting of what's going on, we're going to look at it as best I can. I can't pre-read every article we look at or every video, but there are a lot of them out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys kind of what happened back in, it's crazy enough. It was 2 years ago, 2 years ago in a month, 2 years and a month ago to the day, actually. This was on July 17th, 2021, that this Wii Spa event took place. And this was one that, like I said, it went off. It went off. There was there was a very large counter protest and protest happening. And it's tough to tell who's who and what's what when it comes down to protest, counter protest. But there was the group that was protesting the spa because of the same exact situation. Then there was the people, which were Antifa and a lot of the trans rights folks. And then you had the counter protest was from a lot of Patriot groups that came down, and local citizens, church groups, things of that, organizations like such. But the And while we're looking at this, I'm going to try to touch base with my local correspondent and see if he is ready to rock and roll. So this was last year or 2 years ago, July 17th in Los Angeles, California. So right downtown at Wii Spa. And they had basically surrounded the front of the spa with police because the protesters were there, and there was a Patriot groups moving up the street.
So we got the jump out bourbons over here. Here come.
They were doing a rearrest. They were trying to de-arrest somebody right there. They were restrained and they were starting to come back. Yeah, was the first name right there.
Holy shit.
So the folks in the pink and black obviously were like a trans group or a trans support group, Antifa trans support group, is what that was.
Cop just stabbed me in the ribs, man.
Yeah, I had some bruised ribs after that one. It was pretty rough. I don't know if anybody was watching this while I was live doing it, but it's pretty wild. Yeah, sorry guys, a little bit of choppy reception.
I think that dude's got a busted hand, man. He got caught in the wrist pretty hard.
And he did. He had a broken part of the bone area there.
Here come the impact rounds. You can hear them going up there. Those launchers you just heard right there.
Those are like 40 mil impact rounds. Those things, I got tagged with a couple of those out in Kenosha. Man, those things will lay you down.
Shield right here.
And in Portland.
Skateboard. Y'all share the stream. Legit, share the stream. And it looks like the police have come up on the backside over here, which is a kettle situation, guys. So that's typical with.
This is what we're looking to probably see in Lynnwood today.
Somebody want to go ahead from the mod team, man. Make sure to cut and clip that scene. Let people know what's going on. Share the stream out, y'all.
I had already got like kind of chased out at one point from the event. They were like, "Nah, you're not allowed to be here. Turn off your camera. Blah blah blah. Get out of here." And I was just like, "All right, guys." Like, and that's the kind of stuff we see a lot with like these protests and whatnot, where they're very selective about who they allow there, type thing. And it was like, man, and a lot of people gave me grief for like actually walking away. I was like, all right, cool, man. I cut off, cross the street, turned back on. So there's like 40 people there, and they're armed. They have weapons, and they will attack you. I'm not going to have my head bashed in from behind because I'm filming, but I'll pick it back up and keep going. But this is the kind of standoff you'll see over these, and you look across the street over there, you can see, if you look back in the distance there, you see some flags flying there. That's portions of the Patriot group. They were marching up the street from a couple different directions and getting ready to clash. So the police, their big goal here is just to keep the groups separated, which is what we've been hearing a lot of reports of what's happening in the streets of Lynnwood, will be happening in the streets of Lynnwood today. So.
Oh, shit. Man, they just shot that.
All right. You know what? Actually, let's do this. We're going to pause this one. Boom. Let's do this real quick. I believe we've got. So now you know what we're talking about, right? So this is kind of what you have to look forward to in Lynnwood. Speaking of Lynnwood, we're going to jump into Lynnwood right now because I think we got some live action happening right now in Lynnwood. So. I apologize for the reception. I'm going to go ahead and do something with that right now. So hopefully this will make it work a little better. Yeah, it's a little dicey. I know, guys. I apologize. But
girls 13 years old, 13 years old are allowed in this spa.
Hey, babe, are you on the
around in this facility with women that are naked?
So I apologize. I know it's a little bit. There we go. It was a little choppy for a second there, but that could be on the video side. I'm not exactly sure. It looks like it's probably. Now you got a ton of things that are going to be happening out there. You've got other people that are going live, and I've got another guy on his way there, so that'll be there. But this is what we're looking at right now in Lynnwood. So yeah, it's happening. So support trans youth, trans rights are human rights is what we're seeing in the background here on some of these signs. Let me get this. Let me see if this is actually happening on the. If it says jumpy. Yeah. So what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to do a reset on this one real quick. So yeah, bear with me for a moment if you guys would, please. We're gonna do this just because I want to make sure that we've got we got this dialed in here. All right. So one moment. But yeah, so you can see that things are already going on right now down in the wilds of Lynnwood, Washington. We just want to make sure we got a clean images for you to see. Not clean as in like, not risque, but I just want to make sure we've got a smooth stream. You know what I'm talking about here. Don't make me feel weird. There we go.
Does not believe in having a man in an all-women spa. It is literally Wii Spa again. They can have 13-year-olds go into this facility, and it's mandatory
Again, I apologize. It's a little choppy here. It's this is tough. It's kind of frustrating because it's definitely coming from a restream situation. So, well, things are spicing up a bit. What we can do here is we're going to go ahead and we'll pause this for a second. And like I said, there's not a lot happening just yet, but people are definitely starting to stack up down there. What I'll do is while I'm waiting for the while we're waiting on the what am I saying here? You know what I'm saying. While I'm waiting on the picture to clear out for us here, we'll do this here fast. Let's see if we got anything else going on right now. It's live at the same spot. We're kind of trying to make it happen through a couple different people, but my guy is stuck in traffic, which is classic Seattle stuff going on over there. But yeah, the connection strength's not all that great with, I'm guessing with either her connection there or with the way we're linking up to it over here. So my apologies. But while we're waiting, what we can do is, right. We got you guys. Don't worry about it. All right. Boom. So yeah, we're gonna do this. Just in the meantime, we're gonna cut that. We're gonna go ahead and give you guys a. While I'm waiting for this to fire up, I'm gonna keep tabs on it, and we'll do this for you here.
Looks like they're trying to usher that crowd back on the other side. I heard a baseball bat just hit the ground. Someone just threw a baseball bat at the police over here.
Yeah, they get pretty violent, man. These things they'll crack off pretty hardcore. You just get close enough and look at it. You know what I mean? That's kind of my take. The whole Nazi thing for me is a trip too. Like everything just gets dubbed a Nazi on that from these protest world. That it's like it's, I don't know how it just becomes a Nazi thing. Yeah. For everyone that's jumping in that hasn't seen it in a while, I appreciate you jumping in and sharing the stream as well. I know I've been out of touch for a minute, but I've been busy with a lot of things.
They still got some more jump out wagons.
So again, this is 2 years ago to the day in July, but in July, when this cracked off, this is Wii Spa. When she said it just a minute ago, this is Wii Spa all over again. That's what this is exactly what she was referring to. And I don't know why we're having issues with sharing the Facebook feed over here.
So they got the announcements going in Spanish right now. Sergeant, is there an order? Is there an order? What is the order? To disperse within 5 minutes. Okay, there's a dispersal for 5 minutes. Dispersal has been given 5 minutes.
So they're giving them a go ahead, like, hey man, we're gonna start placing arrests if there's not a dispersal. So give them a preemptive strike, if you will. Like, you know, hey man, this is what's gonna go down. Whether or not people follow up on it or, you know, listen to it, that's, you know, that's on them. But
you can see the other group has been escorted down a block.
yeah, it's really, and this I'm trying to pull it off of yeah, that's good. We're good.
Karen DeLay,
Yeah.
from Coronado and Wilshire to I don't know the name. I don't know how you say the name. Karen DeLay.
So KJ, this is
Is that how you say it? Karen DeLay. Is that Karen DeLay or that street?
This is, we're showcasing what happened in LA. This is a Wii Spa event, and from 2 years ago, and we're going to be covering as soon as we get our guy there live the current event that's taking place in Lynnwood, Washington, which is the same exact scenario. It's about a women's spa that wasn't allowing a pre-operation biological male in, transgender male into, or transgender woman, however you want to do it, into the spa, because there are nude areas and there are underage individuals in the spa. So that's what that was about back at Wii Spa LA right here. Now today is the same scenario with the Olympus Spa in Lynnwood, Washington. So. But yeah, sucking tear gas in that one already. Cool, buddy.
So they're making a dispersal order right now that in 5 minutes everyone has to disperse. I don't know where everyone's gonna go though. I mean, they got
it turned into a sprint
here,
down the block. It was pretty wild.
Small group coming in, and then police here, plenty of police over there. So
QWE ASDF, if you're just tuning in on YouTube, it's because we're having some tech difficulties, so we're just giving some context, which is why it'll be live here in a minute. The live protest that's happening right now is well, let's touch in. I'll show you guys. And that's the voice of my good friend Jeremy Quinn, who is reporting for us live in Hawaii, down in Oahu, in Honolulu. He made his way to Mexico with me, some border coverage, and we did some stuff in Cali together. And he's in Hawaii doing it, just making it happen. Yeah, good dude. Unlawful assembly, yeah. So what we'll do it like this.
We're saying Wilshire and Coronado.
Because this may be the best way to do it. I know someone just made a comment about it, saying, hey man, like, you said this is live, why isn't it live? So let's see if we can't touch in here and give this to you. Problem we've got is that, like I said, the signal strength has not been solid. So we're going to do it the best we can, as we always do. So see if this works better for us. And this is what you're seeing. This is what you're getting. So bear with and deal. Where's the audio on this? Let's give you some audio on this as well. Boom.
Look at, you can tell the happiness that goes on our side. We demand single-sex spaces, save women's spaces. Sex change is fantasy, it's delusion, it's mental illness. Absolutely. If you were born with a dick, you're not a freaking chick. Hello and amen. No one can change their gender. Hi. Until I'll make my brother understand. Oh, yes,
And this is
We absolutely hate them. We have Jesus in our heart and on our side.
There we go. Got a lot going on the screen, I know, but this will give us, at least you can see what's happening.
Oh,
So,
you guys don't know Chris. This is my man.
we're going to go ahead and minimize this a bit.
I guess I always have crossed the line. Yes, amen.
You see a lot of these folks that are talking about here about women's rights, you know, about the civil rights for women. These are some of the Patriot group, all these folks, and like that you're seeing here. These are part of like the 3%. The 3% group.
Delusional lives do not matter. Get help.
She said delusional lives do not
Vote
matter.
for better mental insurance awareness in your state.
So the 3% group that's part of this protest,
My strength group is in the chat. Thank you.
let me turn this down a bit, guys. Sorry. Let me get back over here. Jump right back up. It is what it is. It's going to be loud. You're going to have to turn the volume down on your end, okay? My apologies, but it is what it is. Sorry, guys. I'm going to turn it down on my end, though. I know that. Is that better? Hopefully I just turned on the bass volume, right? Long. So, I apologize. I'm going to be a little choppy. The 3%erism is not a group, but a sub-ideology. Let me do this real fast. What it says. 3%ers often draw parallels between the U.S. government today and the British government in the 1700s, arguing that the current U.S. government is tyrannical and actively working to infringe on Americans' constitutional rights and liberties. They believe a small force of armed individuals can overthrow a tyrannical government.
You guys, don't they look so dark and evil? Like, I'm not being just facetious. Like,
3%ers engage in paramilitary training and organizing to do so. 3%erism is at its core a vanguard movement that claims to be ready to carry out armed resistance to perceived tyranny.
If you guys don't know Katie Davis for
Their perceptions of tyranny emanate from the radical conspiracy, they say, radical conspiracy theories and paranoia rooted in the decade. Okay, so this is obviously
come out and protest or stand in solidarity. We got law enforcement.
group. I'm just trying
We
to
hold
get
the
the facts on,
American
like,
flag. We pray to
Webster's
Jesus.
dictionary type thing.
And they come out to
And have repeatedly led
protest or
states
have
are engaged in saying violent activities. 3% of groups often include references to the sub-ideology in their group name, commonly losing 3% or 3%. And that's where you see this like hand symbol thingy that they do. That's like a lot of people just claim that's 3%. Also, people would say they do it just to trigger the left.
You can't even see
Just
what
tough.
they
It's
stand
like throwing up like a Hitler symbol for some people, but you can't really do it just to piss people off because
a little sprinkle, but they don't look like they are worried about getting their hair back.
they do have a lot of like rough quotes that they're going to pull off, but again, things in context and out of context can make a lot of changes.
Can everybody hear me?
Let's see what they have to say.
We thank you all so much for coming. Thank you, Jason Silver. Thank you, Calvin Women's Speak. Thank you, Washington 3%. And thank you, most of all, those of you that won't be intimidated by anti-fascism. Look right over there.
I've interviewed this guy before in Washington at the state capitol.
And let me be real
Bear with me for 1 minute, guys.
Make sure you speak louder there, girl. We got to outdraw the You can tell our side. For anybody that's just joining, I just want to remind everybody that this is not against the gay and lesbian community. This is in solidarity for women 13 and up, a safe women's space. There is a spa in Lynnwood that is a exclusive, all-female place.
Check.
It is a facility that requires you to be completely naked while you are in the spa. It is a Christian Korean spa, and there is a male that is claiming to be transgender, but still has his male parts attached that would walk around naked with these 13 and up at an all-exclusive, women's-only spa. The judge in Seattle just ruled for the man. It is unconstitutional. They made the spa that's been operating for years take the word biological out of the disclaimer. So anybody that is claiming to be a woman, whether they are transitioned or not, are allowed to go naked, which is mandatory in this spa, with our girls, 13 years old and up. And these are the people that are fighting for this. It is absolutely demonic. Again, this is not about the gay and lesbian community. This is about protecting safe spaces for women. They have multiple locations, and there's only 2 of them that are female only.
Are we on?
The 2 that are female only require you, it's part of the Korean culture of this spa and the treatment that they have. It is what goes on, it's mandatory, it's required to be nude, fully nude.
The owners of the spa, the women who work there, and all of the women.
They do not want men walking around with penises dangling.
Of the Olympus Spa for almost 3 decades. My mother, my aunt, my sisters, my daughters, my nieces, my women friends. We have been enjoying the spa for almost 3 decades. And now the state of Washington is mandating that we allow men inside of our women's space.
Sorry, I'm so
I
sorry.
want to let you know that this spa is a naked lady spa.
Did you hear that? She's been coming here for years, her whole family.
All right, we're gonna switch this up a little bit because this is I think we've got this figured out, so we can do this a little bit easier than what we've been doing.
Spaces. Oh, that's much better. There we go. Now you can really hear me. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so
This should work better, so we can go.
if you've never been to the Olympus Spa and enjoyed its services, you wouldn't know how intimate the setting is. Women are walking around naked in the pool areas,
Better.
in the changing room areas, and the areas where you get in front of other women. And even that sometimes can maybe be a little bit uncomfortable for
Share the stream, please, if you would, guys. Please share the stream.
Watching such an intimate service. Can't even imagine what it would be like having a man walking around naked, fully genital, calling his penis a girl dick? What the hell is a girl dick? No such thing.
Amen.
Yeah. Random American. Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah, Jeremy's a stud.
I don't even like
This
that
guy.
word. How can we put the word women next to that? These
I'll
are
be right back, you guys.
chemically
Keep watching this.
altered men is what they are. They're chemically and surgically altered. They are not women, and we all know that. Even they know that. Every single one of us came out of a woman. Every single person living today came out of a woman. I can't even
So did you guys hear her speaking? Her family has went to this spa for generations. You only have to be 13 years old to go in this spa. Two of the several locations are mandatory to be nude the whole time while you're in the spa. A transgender man that has a penis filed a lawsuit, and an unconstitutional liberal judge out of Seattle granted him a stay. So the spa has an attorney, and they are appealing it. But for right now, that judge made the spa take biological woman phrase out of their disclaimer. So all of these women at this Christian Korean spa that have went for years now have to worry about men that have penises walking around in the facility where they can have their 13-year-old daughter. It is mandatory. This is not against the gay and lesbian community. This is against unconstitutional liberal judges that are trying to set a precedent in our states that are harming our children. It is my daughters in a very unsafe space. It is not okay. If we don't stand up against this, it is going to take over every state. We need to protect the rights of women, children, our girls, our babies. They're being trafficked, they're being abused. This is how it starts. And everybody needs to take a stand against this. This is not against the gay and lesbian community. This is against the judges. This is against these people. These people. These people that want to bring this into the safe spaces of our girls. You can just feel the darkness here. I can't even explain it. It is horrible. They come up just like in Portland. They block up, they mask up, they come up with umbrellas, and these are the people that are standing up for our babies, for our little girls, out of safe spaces for women. It is demonic and it's wrong. And these judges that are allowing this to take place is absolutely messed up. Now the spa is going to spend thousands and thousands appealing this case because it's not okay that they made an unconstitutional ruling to allow this man that has a penis to go into men's spaces. It's wrong.
You guys are
And these are the people that are fighting for women's spaces. This right here. That's what you want? These are the people that are defending safe spaces? This is where you want your little girl to be 13 years old. You know how they get excited? Your girl turns a teenage, they want to go with their mom. They want to go to the spa. This is a Christian Korean spa that has operated for generations, and they want a safe space for girls and women.
Seems a fair thing to want. I mean, am I wrong? Let's see what they got to say about some of the other things here. Hey, there's the big show on the Patriot group side.
These are men with penises walking around in nude facilities in a spa with our women, wives, sisters, and daughters.
what's wild is, okay, so I'm not sure if you guys are aware of all the things that are happening in Washington State. There's been a crazy amount of things that have taken place in Washington, as far as some of the bills that have been passed. But one of those, I'll just read you kind of the breakdown here. It says Olympus Washington, minors seeking gender-affirming care in Washington will be protected from the intervention of estranged parents under a major government. Jay Inslee signed into law. This is back in May.
They're
Now,
unclear as to what they stand for. That's why they're masked up.
what they're saying there by estranged parents is if a child, an underage person, were to run away from home, now they're estranged from their parents. And that now says that they will be protected from the intervention of the estranged parents. The new law is part of a wave of legislation here in Democratic-led states intended to give refuge amid a conservative movement in which lawmakers in other states have attacked transgender rights and limited or banned gender-affirming care for minors. Existing Washington law generally requires licensed shelters and host homes to notify parents within 72 hours if a minor comes into their care. Under the new law, facilities can instead contact the State Department of Child, Youth, and Families, which could then, like CPS, Child Protective Services, which could then attempt to reunify the family if feasible. Youth will also be allowed to stay at host homes, private volunteer homes that temporarily house young people without parental permission. More than half a dozen states from New Jersey to Vermont to Colorado have passed and are considered similar bills or executive orders around transgender health care, civil rights, and other legal protections. In Michigan, Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer in March signed a bill outlawing discrimination on the basis of gender identity and sexual orientation for the first time in her state. Oregon lawmakers are they're going to further expand insurance coverage for gender-affirming care to include things like facial hair removal and Adam's apple reduction surgery, procedures currently considered cosmetic by insurers, but seen as critical to the mental health of transgender. I would like to know if I can get my teeth done for free. You know, I'd like to, because I feel like I have underly masculine teeth. How about that? Or my nose. I would love to get my nose fixed from how many times it's been broken, because I feel like it takes away from how I feel as a handsome human being, right? So
take the word biological
let me get down to
out of their
where it is.
So now biological women are literally like the word biological was put in the ruling to take out of the disclaimer for the law.
This is wild to me.
Listen to these people, like, it's amazing.
So what they're saying is,
where is everybody? Where is everybody on this issue? Where is everybody standing? These people are trying to wipe away the rights of biological women. It's not okay. And these judges need to be held accountable. It's an unconstitutional ruling to make somebody in a private business allow a man with a penis into a spa that requires them to be naked. So you have girls, 13 years old. 13 years old is when they start admitting people into this facility to have treatment, to have, you know, this experience.
Let me give you some details on this real quick.
13 years old, your girl, your sister, your mom, your grandma.
So Jay Inslee, just to be clear, signed the Senate Bill 5599 into law, which removes barriers to safe shelter for youth that seek gender-affirming or reproductive health care. Right? The bill was sponsored by State Senator. Every child, including our trans youth, deserves to be safe at home. In a perfect world, that is the case, but unfortunately, that is not the reality. This legislation affirms our commitment to ensuring children have a safe and stable place to go when they are not welcome at home. Under current law, licensed shelters must notify parents, like I said, within 72 hours if a child shows up. Now, this legislation allows for the shelters to contact the DCYF, right? Which is, I misspoke that, the Department of Child, Youth, and Families. Children, Youth, and Families. In lieu of parents in certain instances, like when a young person is seeking reproductive health services or gender-affirming care, 5599 is needed as a state needed as states across the country introduce and pass anti-LGBTQ legislation is what this says, which is wild. They're saying that the ACLU is tracking 474 anti-LGBTQ bills across the country. Washington has long been a place where members of the LGBTQ plus community are welcomed and embraced, as other states across the country introduce and pass legislation to take rights away. Where in Washington, we are sending a clear signal. We hear you, we see you, and we love you.
Here comes the riot squad.
To be very clear, what they're saying
Tolerant left.
is that a child could go ahead and run away from home
That want to stand
if they
up
so
for
choose,
women's rights. They don't
go
even
to
know
a shelter, be placed in a volunteer home
themselves.
that
How
will
could they be
support them
defending
in
this?
doing gender reassignment and gender reaffirmation, and they are not responsible to tell the parent where that child is. And it blows my mind. They're allowing children now to run away from home, find somewhere safe. They will do the gender reassignment for them, keep them safe from the parents knowing where they're at. But that same child can't go to an R-rated movie. That same kid can't buy a cigarette or a beer until they're 21 years old. But they can run away from home, be protected by this bill in Washington, and then change their sexual identity as a minor.
This is what we're standing up for right here.
And we're talking about how and I don't get how anyone in the trans world can say in any way that that's protecting these children. That a 13-year-old, 12-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old,
the Constitution,
no clue what's going on with their life or world in general, is going to say, I feel, because it's what's popular and what kids are saying in the chit chat on Fortnite, and I'm not trying to be diminutive to the way they really feel. I'm just saying that I want to be a different sexual orientation than I am right now. Mom and dad won't let me do it because they said I should wait till I'm 25 and have a fully developed brain. So, deuces, mom and dad, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. And I've got a host family that I found online, or that a friend said will host, that is very trans supportive. They're going to let me live there for free, and you'll never know about it because they're not going to have to tell you. And next time you see me, I'm going to be down one appendage and living my best life. I would like to draw everyone's attention to the tramp stamp. Not that I'm cracking on you if you got one, or a tribal armband. I'm not cracking on you if you got one, but it was a portion of the times. And I know sexuality is much deeper and more versed in the coding of our being, but a lot of times we make choices about things that need to be changed moving forward, or that we decide to change. And this is one of those things that, good luck. You know? Kristen says you have to be 18 to vote or to buy tobacco, 18 to serve this country, 21 to drink. Well, that's actually 21 in Washington, 21 to drink, 21 to smoke. Yet they think children can decide what gender they want to be for life. Yeah, these are things, you know. Yeah, in Seattle, they're marching for the Lord. Praise Jesus. I apologize. This is kind of choppy. Let's see if we can't get this to work better.
Hey, Christine, thank you so much. Oh, I love you guys. You know how I feel about kids. The gay lesbian community is not my fight. But men with penises walking around in safe spaces for women and girls all day, every day.
We the people, the Department of Health opened the door for multiple gender
My guy is still not there. He's like, yeah, I got about 30 minutes to get there from Olympia.
I can't say enough about the 3%ers that have been here doing security for us today, too. Literally amazing.
What's wild, though, is in the current day and age, you see so much more. Yeah, Julie's live, you guys, just so you know. This is Julie Turcall, and I want to plug that. Only thank you, Mr. Bill. Mrs. Choppy, she's live right now, and her name is Julie Turcall. Turcall, I want to make sure I'm saying it right. But she's, yeah, Turcol. we've crossed paths tons of times up in Seattle in many events out in the streets, and she's a big advocate, a loud voice, and a large proponent for fighting for conservative rights. So
I don't think half these people know what they're here for. I really don't. I really don't. They're just in unicorn hats and crazy shit take hold and so repetitive of their little chants and the things that they say, because they want protected, safe.
Not a good connection there. Maybe all the umbrellas. Stoney J says maybe the umbrellas are blocking the connection.
Spaces for their own people. Every different.
So Ginny DeBay says, I'm dealing with this in my family. My daughter hid her gender from me. She's now 23. She told me a few months ago she did marry 2 years ago. Her husband accepts this. They moved to Colorado due to the fact I'm a conservative and have my own views. Had no idea she was doing any of this. We've decided to let her do what she wants, of course, but she's not bringing the drama to our family. She has love but needs mental health services. Okay. So yeah, that's a view a lot of people have, is about mental health. You know, I've got a friend of a friend who went through gender reassignment down south, and prior to that happening, before that was able to happen, they had to go through mental health evaluations and services, and then once that was done and over with, then they went through the gender reassignment, went from being a female to a male. And it just got to a point where you see that the people are. That to me is odd. Like, I don't feel like people should be looked at as being crazy because they want to change their gender, because you got people online that want to be an alien. They want to be, you know, whatever. There's a billion different things they want to do with themselves. But the, you know, that doesn't mean they're crazy. It just means they're into
they want to feel safe.
That's how they feel, right? Good for them. But the issue we've got is that these kids they're dealing with underdeveloped brains, and that's what this is all about. It's not about grown folks that want to change their gender. That's fine. It's about exposure to reassign individuals to children. It's about children trying to change their gender when they don't have the fundamental understanding of what they're doing.
That they want to feel safe
as it pertains to the rest of their entire life. I've got so many people in my world now that I'm getting older that are going through IVF and things that they're having to deal with because they can't have children. They're working so hard. They've dealt with maybe I don't know, ovarian cysts that have happened, and there's things that have happened down the line with different folks that have caused problems where they're not able to have children. A lot of people struggle with that, and it's sad. It's terrible when you really want to do it. And I would hate to see a child change themselves in a way where they're not able to be a part of the reproductive aspect of their life moving forward. Should that be something they want to do because they made a choice when they were 15 years old? They made a decision, not a choice, a decision when they were 15 years old to change their sexual identity. And now they're in a position where they're just stuck without the ability to continue that family line. You know, it's a tough one, man. And yeah, Mr. Bill, which platform are we on?
Where is their safety in a safe space for women? For children that are 13 years old of age and up. You have to keep in mind, this spa optional. Clothing is not optional. That's very important to remember. The women at 13 years old, to me, is a child. They do not have an option of clothing. It is a nude spa for the treatment.
Yeah, and again, you guys, we're going to do a little bit of a choppy signal. I'm working on it. We'll get it figured out.
Korean spa, where a 13-year-old girl is walking around with her mom and grandma, exposed, completely nude, where a man with a penis that identifies as a transgender woman gets to walk around naked too, because it's not optional. And it is a women's only spa. Our people.
This is it's frustrating because the signal would be better elsewhere, but it's just
You guys, this is so crucial. This is so important. This is a turning point right now for our country. If we do not make safe spaces for our girls and our women, it's only going to be pursue an appeal for obvious reasons. It's completely unconstitutional. They made the spa take biological, the word.
it's getting chopped, guys. But we're seeing a lot of. I mean, Julie's doing a job of showcasing what's going on. When that gets there, hopefully it'll better pick up than what we're dealing with right now. A little bit of an in and out, and you know, it's just what it is. We'll get there though. Or we won't.
That's the disclaimer. Off of their signage. This is, again, please, I can't stress.
Hey, what's up, Stone Cold? Yeah, Wheezy Pillar, make your own Korean spa. That's the thing. And I'm curious about this. Why are we not seeing these people, like, you know, doing fundraisers instead of trying to shut down people that are doing things a certain way? You know, why weren't they putting their effort into making a facility that's good for them? There are, and I'm aware of these things in Seattle. They don't talk about them much, but they have men's clubs, men's spas, if you want to call them that, in Seattle on Capitol Hill that are catering to just men, for men to be around other men. And these are not, they're bathhouses. I don't know if they let women in, and I'd be curious to see if they don't work on getting those shut down, because a woman wants to go in. You know, what's going to happen with religious locations? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to start getting mad because we don't allow people from other churches to preach in different churches? Like, what if I go to a mosque and I want to go ahead and have a Christian sermon?
Biological man with a penis still attached to his
I'm just curious where it ends. I'm not saying that
body.
These are mutually exchangeable.
To be transgender.
Gender roles and faith roles. But I do feel that we're talking about our personal beliefs, and that's going to be a big interpretation, because, you know, there's a lot of people who don't feel like I feel. There's a lot of people that feel things that I don't agree with either. So, but I definitely don't agree that children should be exposed to anatomically an anatomical man. You know, like I said earlier, I would feel
our mothers, our grandmothers, our sisters.
Yeah, Julie on Facebook. Yeah, Renee, I'm not. It's on my end. It's 100% me thing. If I could just get rid of me entirely and have it be nothing but Julie.
It is mandatory, not
I
optional.
don't think that's changing it. We're just dealing with signal strength issues over here, guys, and I apologize. It's what it is. You know, Steiny J. No, she's not. Julie has. She's out there with. Sorry, I'm trying to find the proper placement for my big old noggin here.
Nudity. It is a nude spa.
There we go. There's a 3%ers that are out there running security for her. So for not for her, but for all those people that are out there in this protest. And what she's talking about is very relevant.
Identified as a woman.
No, Renee, I appreciate the feedback. Definitely give me the feedback. I know my connection here is fine, but for whatever reason, it's just this trying to pull this Facebook feed is a wild pain in the butt. So if anybody knows of anyone else that's there right now that's live, let me know. My guy is running late because of traffic, and I could have told him that. I told him
Unconstitutionally
30 minutes, you can't get anywhere.
That the spa
You're
take
not
the
going
word
anywhere
biological out of
in the Seattle
everything
area.
with the spa. It's a Christian
So-
spa. It's been a woman's spa. They have multiple other facilities. There's 2 spas that are only
But it's
for
not quite. He's not quite running.
Not only the right to assemble, but your right to believe what you.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's doing this. Let's see if we can't do better on this.
And this court decision is an infringement on their right to believe what they believe. The great thing about this country and this.
Maybe this will work better. Not so much. Yeah, so welcome to the wild world of internet. So what we're going to do here is we're going to reset ourselves here for a second. Because I don't want it to go down the chop line for you guys, but we're not going to stop here. Yeah, Mary Beth. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, when it comes down to it, I think people are arguing about whether or not, these folks are or are not biological men or biological women. I mean, at the end of the day, you can claim to be one thing, but, carbon dating is going to tell you something. They're going to be able to pull our bones up in 1,000 years and tell us exactly if you're male or female. But it doesn't change how you want to live your life. If you want to live your life in the most self-affirming way, go ahead. But don't push that on people around you that don't have the opportunity to defend their undeveloped ideologies and notions of what reality is. You know what I mean? Like they talk about protecting kids, protect children from making bad choices, man. And I say bad choices, and I'm not saying at some point in life they won't make the same choice, but at an early age, there's a reason why they don't go to R-rated movies. There's a reason why they don't allow them to buy cigarettes. There's a reason why you don't have 12-year-olds lined up behind me in a liquor store trying to buy a bottle of booze to go drink in the parking lot. There's terrible decision-making skills on these kids' parts. There's grown-ass folks that don't know how to do well enough to make decisions that are going to be productive for their existence. That doesn't matter, though. Because right now we're doing what we can to help let them know that they can have and do and be whatever they want, right? We want to tell kids that. Live the most incredible life you can live. But let's not do things like what we're dealing with here in Washington or back in Washington, where we're saying, hey, kids, if you want to run away from home, we won't tell your parents where you're at. We're going to host you at a place and we're going to let you go ahead and, mutilate yourself. I don't want to say mutilate. That does sound insult. We're going to let you alter your sexual identity, reassign yourself, as they say. And then if you're ready to be reunited with your family, we'll do so. But if you don't want to, it's fine. We're not going to do it. These are things that are happening. Like they're protecting children from estranged parents. We're calling them estranged parents. I think they're going to, sounds like deranged is going to be a word that's going to be used in there, because that's what I see. It's almost crazy, the things that people are doing and saying that they're doing it in the guise of protecting children. I don't see how that's ever protecting children. Yeah, so you can be the most prolific Bible study on the planet and believe to the core of you that it's fire, brimstone, Old Testament life, but you're not allowed to go to the street corner and smack people in the face with the King James Version because they don't believe in the same book. You can't do that. Much in this, you can't go to a place and say, you know what, I don't like that you don't like me, so you have to change to fit better what I want, and that's how it's going to be. You know, and it's disturbing to me that it's not being publicized more in a way where we're looking at it from that standpoint, that the children are being targeted in a big way. And not just, and we'll talk about it for 2 seconds, not just in this whole trans movement. Children are being targeted massively. And if you look at through the cyber attacks that we're dealing with, when I say cyber attacks, I mean, it's the dump of information that they're getting from negative sources, the dump of information they're getting that are false, coming from major media sources. They're put in front of a tablet, a phone, the computer, and they're given access to everything. And we've been having conversations about this recently, personally here in the home, about kids having access to pornography and things that, like, you can't stop it almost, but can you? Like, can you be more involved in a way where these children aren't going to be directly accessing things like porn and, gender reassigning, gender reaffirming, whatever you want to call it, clinics and facilities that are going to actually do this for children, do this to children. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say for children. I'm going to say do this to children, because I can't think that would be acceptable if it were, a child who, would they allow a kid who said, you know what, I don't feel like I should have been born with the ability to see. I feel like I'm overburdened with the eyes in my head. I want a facility to take these eyes from my head so that I can live the life I feel like I was supposed to live. I feel like I should have been born blind to the world, not seeing the chaos that it is. Take my eyes or take my ears. I don't want to hear the world. I don't want to hear it. I feel like I'm just meant to see and interpret. I don't want to hear the words of other people. As a minor, I feel like I want you to take these eardrums from my head, take them out, get rid of them. Take my larynx. I don't want to speak. I feel like I shouldn't have to speak to the world. It's wild to me. It's just wild to me. Take out your appendix first. You don't really need that. Go through that operation. You know what I mean? Get your appendix out before that thing bursts. I mean, we're walking around with a ticking time bomb in our gut, right? We don't know what it does, but if it goes boom, tough luck. So yeah, we need to go ahead and there's just it's a world of confusion to me, and I don't see how it's acceptable that we don't focus on what's happening with the children that are being affected by it. That's where the main focus of this all needs to go. So we're doing our best to give you guys the feed, but rather unfortunately, it's being a little bit fickle. So we're going to take another crack at it here. See if we can't pull it up again, because I want to make sure you're getting the full range of services that I'm trying to give you. Boop-a-da-boop.
I know, exactly. They're mentally ill. Thank you, Anna, for sharing.
Okay.
This guy has a lot of darkness. Is that a woman or a man? I don't know for sure, but he's got a lot of evilness inside of him.
It smells like they're jamming out
Twitter,
there.
my Twitter is Italian girl 104. You guys can follow me or send me a friend request. I'm gonna start doing more stuff from my personal page because.
Let's see what's going on with that, shall we? Let's give it a chocolate. We can't find a way around it.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Wait. Yep. while your daughters and your sisters, your moms, and your grandparents in a facility where a man, a biological man, has his dick hanging out with young girls. It's not okay.
Okay, nothing there, unfortunately. So it's got this choppy feed. I apologize, guys. At some point, I might even just redirect you and send you over directly. Jack Woods, what's going on, brother? I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I'm trying my best to narrate you through this so you kind of know what's going on, but I also am dealing with a choppy connection on my part. So I just want to make sure you know what's going on here. And so for as long as it's working, it'll work. I might put you on autopilot here for a little bit, and we'll see how it goes from there. Again, this is Julie Turcol, Turcol, on Facebook that we're following right now. It's live. We've got, if you are going to be on Rumble, there's info to share, which is my good friend who will be out there on the street. That's rumble.com. And you get info to consider. Info to consider. And also there is only Mr. Bill, who is covering the same event, and will be, I believe it's got that pulled up as well.
You guys, for people that are just joining, I just want to
apologize for the chat, guys. I'm gonna stop apologizing. It is what it is.
This is not against the gay and lesbian community. This is about an unconstitutional court ruling against this spa. It's a women's only spa. This is a Christian Korean spa that has been in business for years. They are allowing now a transgender man with a penis that is not transitioned into this facility with women, with girls.
Let's do this. Okay, I think I got a better setup for us here. Let's see if I can't do this for you here. Yeah, this is better. Hopefully this will work better for us. So let's do this.
Right, and what is true. If we don't do it, our children will suffer. And I brought my daughter here with me today, and I stand up for her and her friends and your kids. And it is up to us. This is the hill that we must die on. So please spread the word, keep speaking truth. Do not back down. Speak it publicly. Speak it compassionately. Compassion is not lying. That is not compassionate, and that is not kind. So with the time now, let's keep speaking up. Let's just get louder and louder. This movement is growing. We will not back down.
The signal strength is driving me nuts, guys. I do apologize. I'm not sure why it's being such a pain in the ass, but it is. This is coming to you from the press conference.
Need to get clipped. Hi, I'm Beth Duranzian, and
I think they should be interviewing people in the crowd. I would. This is from Known Heretic.
Heretic. I think, as we've heard from the speakers, this group was organized by a group of liberal women, and I know there are a lot of conservatives here as well. And I just want to acknowledge that if you have grown up, have been on the liberal side, can you raise your hand? I want people to see. Thank you for, Sovereign Women Speak started this, and I appreciated it so much. And if you consider yourself conservative, can you raise your hand? Great. This is a group that believes that biology is not bigotry, that stands up for women's rights. And I want to know why our politicians in Washington State are not doing the same. Where are the Democrats? I want to ask the Democrat leaders. Jim Walsh is here. I know there's other Republican leaders here. I'm a district chair of the Republican Party. But where are the Democrats? They have failed us. Governor Inslee and the Democrat legislature has failed us. They say that males have to be allowed in every women's space, that no woman has a right to say no to male genitalia, naked male genitalia. I think that's wrong. Republicans and many liberal women agree, and men, sorry. And we stand up and say, this is wrong. We need to stand up for women. We need to stand up for little girls. They deserve the right to know that they are valued. They need to they need to know that they have the right to say no to males. They need to know that they are valuable. They are worth protecting. They are worth having the rights that cannot be taken away and should never be taken away. So that's why I'm here. Thank you all for being here. And you know what? I want to remind people that the violence that happens is with these activists over here. They constantly threaten women who speak up, who disagree with them. They constantly threaten violence, and I've been witness to several acts of violence. So the violence is all on their side, on the trans rights activists. It is never on the women who are standing up for biology, because biology is not bigotry. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And I am one of those women who have been assaulted. There is a criminal case going on in Tacoma, Washington right now. I want a hand of those who are not conservative or liberal. Yeah, so we have some in-betweeners? Okay, good. All right, who do we have next? Michelle, do we have Michelle? Is she with us today? Michelle Darnell, are you with us? No, okay. If not, then it's open.
Working on the issue, guys. It is that I'm working on my platform here. It's going to be we'll get it sorted out, or we won't. Let's check here where we're at. All right, let's do this. Let's
Hi, my name's Nicole. I'm with the Flame newspaper. We had an article about detransitioning a few months back in our paper, and here I am. Anyway, next month we will have an article on what is a woman, and so it's super important that we speak out and we speak loud and proud, like Julie Barrett was saying, because we are in a war. We're in a war for our kids. We're in a war for ideology, their identity. And we're in a war for everything. I have a family member, I'm not going to say who, well, it's my son, and I can't see my granddaughter because he's brainwashed and he's culture washed. I can't see her because he's raising a 5-month-old gender neutral. This culture is taking over. This culture, what it's doing is it's robbing us of our relationships, our family, and it's stealing our kids' identities because they're just pushing this stuff. I don't know what to say. I'm better with the paper than I am with public speaking, although I do it once in a while. But our goal is to get 30 million of these out into America. And every month we offer articles that will actually educate. The movable middle is what we call them. We call the people that just don't know. They feel like they're being good. You know what I mean? They feel like God, love is love, and we're just being good. And isn't it good to just let people be? But the case is it's hurting people. And when we hurt people, we're to do no harm. The doctors are hurting people. Just what they teach in school is going into our children's minds, and it's changing their pathways in their minds. So we have to have a mass movement. It's not going to work with just TV or media. It's not going to work with just Rumble videos. Protests are awesome. We need to do more of them. But we really need to do a massive move, and that's why I do a paper. And so you feel free to submit an article to us, And please know that this is a personal issue to many and many of us. And we're not trying to not be loving to people. I love all those people over there. But we don't have to conform to evil. And this is evil. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I want to mention to you that all over in Lynnwood, the Olympus Spa is also in Lakewood. And that actually is the Tacoma. So that's the spa that I have been enjoying for so many years. I want to just let you know that there are 2 spas. And also, this is the 3rd Korean spa. Oh, sorry. This is the 3rd Korean spa that has been under attack by this ideology. This is not the first, the 3rd. All right, we have another speaker up. All right.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Hello. Thank you, everyone here for coming. My name is David Kitsak. I'm from Gays Against Washington chapter. Thank you. I'm a content creator for them. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all over. And we are fighting the fight. A lot of us ourselves don't have children, but we're putting ourselves online for this because we can see toxicity that this ideology brings. And I want to ask, whatever happened to you're perfect the way you are? No child is born in the wrong body. What happened to love yourself as you are? Teach children to accept themselves versus telling them they need to be medicalized for the rest of their life for a mental struggle, for a psychological condition. We're giving them hardware fixes for a software problem. And that's unacceptable. And with this spa, it's 13 and up. Imagine if my cousin, my nieces were exposed to that, I wouldn't be able to control myself. I don't know how people are. They haven't tried this shit at Vanya 5. They haven't tried this at the Russian spa, I'll tell you that. And I think it's really important for us to communicate that we're not hateful. We don't hate anybody. We're not scared of anybody. You fight because of who you love behind you, not because of who you hate in front of you, right? We are trying to protect the innocence and the privacy rights of women and children and girls. This is completely an overhaul of all the rights that women have fought for decades. And it's being erased now because the left has a new sacred cow, and that sacred cow is trans-identified people. And no matter what, women aren't, you guys are old news now. You guys aren't as special as the women that are men. So it's really dangerous, the game that we're playing now. We're telling kids that they need to be on medications and surgeries to become who they really are. This is a big problem, and it takes all of us to stand up and voice our opinions. You guys need to share, like, repost, record videos. I see a lot of people making content here now. That's amazing. We have to do that because most people that get exposed to our message, they agree, because we don't have to bend reality to make it work. We don't have to do academic gymnastics to try to get our point across. Our point is the truth, and they're making us deny it to our faces. So I want to encourage everyone to, even though it's tough, you get a lot of hate a lot of times when you put yourself out there, do it as much as you can. Support the people that are putting themselves out there. Follow, if you guys are all from Washington State, I assume, follow us at Gag Washington on Twitter, Gag Washington on Instagram, follow Alex, follow me. And we are trying to put a voice out there for the voiceless. Children are vulnerable, and we are treating children like adults and adults like children. Why are we placating insecure adults at the expense of the innocence of children? We can't do that. So I want to thank everyone for coming out here today. We have a long fight ahead of us. We have to get this on the ballot and vote it down. Please sign the referendum if you haven't yet. And thank you for coming out. God bless.
Yes, these people behind us are Big Pharma's dream come true. Follow the money. All right. Do we have anybody else that would like to speak? Okay. Yeah, we're good. All right. Well, wait, one more.
We're working on it, guys. I apologize. I'm trying to be with my tech folks in the back end here. I know it's got some freezing issues, and we're dealing with that, but it's just what it is. You're getting the idea.
Hello.
I'm not sure how bad it is. In the comments, you guys can tell
People
me.
like to say that this is a complicated topic,
but it's not, is it? This boils down to one thing and one thing only: consent. And the simple fact of the matter is that we do not consent. We do not.
Well, Amber, you just got that.
And women being exposed to penises in women-only facilities. We do not consent to our privacy being violated and disrespected. We do not consent to being reduced to a subset of our own sex. We do not consent to convicted male rapists being housed in women's prisons. We do not consent to mediocre male athletes pillaging women's sports. Yet, here we are. In 2023, women are still having to explain the concept of consent and equality. We're still having to justify our decency and dignity to men. It is shameful and despicable that women are being lawfully forced to accept this. How can anyone say that this is progressive and keep a straight face? I don't know about you guys, but I am tired. I'm tired of my compassion as a woman being weaponized against me. I'm sick of having to ask for an explanation as to what a woman is when we all know the truth. I'm tired of being labeled a bigot, a bitch, a Nazi, a TERF for speaking that truth. Yes, right. The undeniable truth that sex is real and it matters. I am sick of being accepted to sit down, shut up, and learn my place. But I won't shut up. We won't shut up. We won't be bullied into silence or compliance. We will never stop. Thank you.
Would anybody else like to come up and speak? If not, we're going to play some music, and I just want to thank everybody for being here. We need to show up. There is so much apathy, fear, ignorance. So those who understand what's going on, we have to show up in order to put it out there to show others. We have been shut down by the left. The media, it's like a global media blackout. The only people that will even hear us is on the right. So it's our job to get out there and educate the public and vote. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Hey, can you hear me? Jack, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. All right. So that was it. We're going to be wrapping up. Thank you so much, Kay, for being here and holding the fort. I so appreciate you. I want to give you an idea.
Amy, walk us around and tell us what's going on.
Okay, so I'm gonna take you this way. We got ladies dancing. Two girls just want to have fun. This is sort of our side right here. We got a lot of press here today, and here is where we've got. I'm gonna take you to a lineup of police. We got a lineup of police, and we got. I'm gonna take you slowly through here. So this is where we got these people here. Let's see, can you see them all in there? Quite the crowd of them. Quite the crowd. So there, we got some finger signs, and of course they got their masks, they got their umbrellas. You know, they're scaredy babies. I think in Pollyanna, the movie, she uses this phrase called "Don't be a diaper baby." I think we got some diaper babies in here. So they're hiding. Let's see, I'm gonna lift you up.
Thank you, ladies. We love and support you.
Hey, Dawn. This is Dawn Land, everyone.
Hi, Dawn. Thank you
Yeah, they tried to drown us out, but they couldn't do it.
No, they could not kick us out. So
We will not be stopped.
yeah, we will not be stopped.
Amy,
So I'm gonna.
let's do Dawn's shirt. Let's get
Oh
a
yeah,
Dawn's shirt.
Dawn's shirt. Dawn's got a shirt.
Iconic trans women are men shirt.
And she's got a liars here, right here. So on our side, we got a bunch of people. We got women and kids. We got little people with some babies in here. We got a whole bunch of people. I'm gonna walk in. Oh, and this is my favorite thing. Can you see up there? There's like 3 people in the window. They're literally like eating popcorn and watching the whole thing. They've been up there in that window eating popcorn and watching us. But this is our side over here. We got our signs, people gathered. So this is kind of the state of our side of things. Pretty happy. Peppy, no face masks, no flipping the bird, no umbrellas.
So Amy, there are 155 people still here on the live stream. Some of them
Wow.
have joined. Yeah, there's a lot of people
Wow.
supporting all of you women out there. Okay.
Yeah, we got music.
Amy, can you recap people that joined in the middle and let them know why all of you women are out there today?
Yeah, so ultimately, the Olympus Spa was attacked by a couple different men. This is a Korean women's naked ladies spa in the Korean tradition, and they have been female only. They were forced by Washington State to stop defining women as adult human females and to include anyone who self-ascribes the identity label one. So there can be any kind of man. He doesn't have to go through any surgery. He doesn't have to remove his genitals. He can be any kind of man, and all he has to do is say, I am a woman, and he can go. So it's pretty good. Hey, friends. So I'm just talking about, now I'm on April's cast too. So we've been here, April Morrow of Sovereign Women Speaks organized this event. So we have all gathered, a bunch of people have gathered. As I said, there's a ton of press here. There's a ton of people here. They did hands earlier. It was really cool. I wish I could have shown it around because they asked for hands of who is a liberal, who is a conservative, who is neither of these. And it was just like half were conservative, half were liberal. There was a few who were something else. So it was just an incredible mix of different kind of people. I think so many times they try to say that the only people who are speaking up about this are conservative, highly religious Christians, but a lot of people here. So there were all kinds of people speaking up about this. There was a couple of Republican legislators here, and I think they did pretty well. But of course, they made this a free speech issue, and to me, I didn't like that. They kept saying that side can believe whatever they want, and we can believe whatever they want. But I really wanted to talk back to them in that moment and just say, my body is not a belief. My boundaries are not a belief. This is not something that you have to believe in or not believe in. A woman is not a belief. We're not a concept. You don't have to. It's true whether you believe it or not. I'm a woman whether I believe I'm a woman or not. Men are men whether they believe they are men or not. This is reality.
That's right, and it really illustrates the fact that this is ontological warfare. This is a warfare on the nature of reality. They are trying to break down the bounds of what it means to be a human in a body at all. Absolutely. A number of the women today mentioned the transhumanist agenda. Yep. Women pointed up at WPATH. So everyone who is coming to these events is becoming more and more educated about the larger agenda, that this is global in nature. Yep. We're getting louder and speaking out on that aspect as well, which might be some of the reason why there was so much censorship in the chat today. So Amy, you were not able to see, but we experienced quite a bit of censorship today in the chat. Women were sending messages and it was not showing up on the screen guard. I even observed that myself. Wow, that's insane. Messages into YouTube, watch them disappear on the back end of the screen guard. So I have seen that happen a few times, but not recently.
Oh, they're playing they're playing some great songs. So I want to thank you, but I also, April, do you want to speak to these ladies for a little while? I want to go talk to Katie Davis for really quick. Here, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to stop my live streaming. Are you want to stop it? No, mine. I want to stop mine. Well, okay, I'll keep it off right now. Okay. Here, you can hear her. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow, this is so loud. Hey, Kat, I'm going to get away from
All right, we're going to do a little swap up here now. We're going to jump back over and see if we can't grab our friend Julie. And we will see if we can. I think we might have our issue solved. We'll play with it. I'm going to be gray screen for a little bit where you see my picture. So we're going to be just hosting so you can really focus on what's happening out there. And we'll be touching in here periodically. But yeah, I'll be with you guys. Talk in the comments here. I really want to hear what you have to say. Definitely share the stream. Make sure to let people know what's going on and kind of give an idea and share your views and thoughts, So
I can't understand you. I cannot understand you. I can't.
It'd be cooler if she would try, though.
I cannot understand you.
Ask questions and listen to answers. That's, the best policy.
Very low IQ. Well, they only know those words.
That'd be very cool.
It's Urban
that's what I would
Dictionary.
do.
It's
I would definitely
Antifa
love
Dictionary. They only
to
have
interview
4
people.
words. We all fall into one category now, apparently. Anybody but himself.
Okay.
The crowd's getting closer together. I really can't understand him. Why do you like trans men going into women's locker rooms? Can you answer that Katie, Mr. Bill says hello to you. Do I get a gold star now? Give us an example. Give us an example. We are in Washington. We're up by Seattle. Lynnwood. You're welcome, Mr. Bell. You have no idea what you're talking about. No, you got it all wrong. You're brainwashed. You're we don't hate women. We do not hate women. We are defend women. We don't hate gay people didn't exist. Defend women. That's why we're here. Amen. Now you say trans people don't exist. Get the
fuck over it. Prevent safety. That's why we are here. Get the fuck over it. See, what did you have to say? Stop talking. If this argument is absolute garbage.
They don't want to hear us, and they want to keep with that narrative.
All we can say is that we're idiots and that we're bigots and that we're racist.
I can't get past the pink mask.
You have a lot of gay people over here. Did you know that? If you paid attention, hello.
There's a lot more over here.
Do you believe in
Y'all don't have a real stance. Make money off people suffering. Get your pussy with your feet.
Oh my God, they're still doing the stand-up fight dancing. I have nightmares of that in Portland.
We got homeboy in the back.
But they're still men. They're still biological men. You did awesome. Great.
Biology, know what a man and a woman is.
Shout out to the 3%ers who've done security here today. Amazing job. And law enforcement, done great. I don't know why they don't have American flags over there. Tina, no, seriously. I'm so glad I'm on this side with our men. Particularly this one.
Patty.
If a fight breaks out.
So much.
Rightly read. Of course you would notice that.
I am.
Yeah, there's security. Like there's everywhere. The whole town's locked down. There's some police here.
You know you like it. You are fighting it. Come on now, all of you. Everybody now.
They're getting in the process of getting these guys out of here.
Yeah. I think the police are going to try to disperse them. Love to you too. Sherry, exactly. How many have birthed a child? That's why they don't understand the protection that we have over our daughters. Watch what you say in the chat. I don't want my page getting taken down. That's why I don't normally go live from my personal page.
I know. I should. Next time I have to.
I might post it on American Made Patriots or Baby Size Matter styles and delete it from my personal page. But you guys can follow my personal page. Unicorn. Yes, Joe. Exiles. The non-conformist in the house. Well, I'm hoping that they're going to disperse. Our speakers are done. So it's just, you guys, it's really sad because things happen like this. And I have friends that are in the gay and lesbian community, and that is not this fight. It is not. You know, this fight here today. Oh, sorry. Security's back. Yeah. Thank you. I've had multiple threats against me today, of course, so I have my own security here that's making me stay in a certain parameter. Yeah, the riot team's coming in, so I might have to stop my live, but it's just really important to me to point out that the gay and lesbian community, they are the ones under attack. They are under attack because the people that are coming out with stuff like this, that are attaching themselves, in my opinion, to the gay and lesbian community, are only doing damage. This is about a fight for our children, for women's rights, to protect our babies, to literally protect the safe space of the female, the biological female. I don't know if I would feel different if the man had transgendered completely. That's not the topic at hand today. I guess that's a whole other subject to address. But at this point, this is a biological male that has not transitioned. This is about a judge that ruled against a private business allowing a biological man with a penis attached to his body that can still rape, that can still abuse, that still can, become excited around women, into an all-female spa. The spa is mandatory nudity. It is a female spa that clothing is not an option. There's only 2 of their businesses out of multiple that they have that offer this service. There's families and generations, the speakers were saying. Thank you so much for speaking today.
God bless.
God bless you. That's Washington Gays Against Groomers. There's generations that have been coming of women to share in this experience. If they want to come into a facility, a private business that claims for biological women only, and be able to go into a safe space and be nude and walk around and get a hot, a spa and a massage and whatever. Like, it's a private business. There shouldn't be a man walking around with a penis. Like, good thing I didn't have my megaphone today. Maybe I should have. But that's what this is about. It's about a safe space for our women, for our children. The sexualization, can you tell? I've been talking for hours. It's about protecting safe spaces for our women, for our children, and not allowing men to come in and invade that space. I'm in shock that the ruling came out in favor of the transgender man. So that's what this is about. So it's just really important that I point out that it's not about the gay and lesbian community. It's about a private Christian Korean spa that offers this service. The judge ruled to make the spa take the word biological completely out of any verbiage. Literally, they had to take the word biological woman. Do you know how that makes someone like me feel that's a biological woman that love men? Like, taking that out to where you feel like you are like being erased. You have no rights as a biological woman to be in a safe place. And for our girls, our grandkids, our kids, like, it's not okay. And for the people that are here protesting against the spa, these are the same people that have attacked us in Portland, that have come up against us time and time again, telling us that they want safe places. They feel threatened. They're coming at us from a point that we are trying to, keep safe for our kids. So apparently it's okay for them if they're fighting for their own cause, but not for us. So anyway, it was just really important. I don't normally share or go live from a personal page because I keep that, pretty locked down for privacy stuff because I've already had multiple threats and things coming my way from the tolerant left. I just decided, I can't stay quiet about this. And, if people on my personal page don't agree with me, just feel free to unfriend me, block me, whatever. It doesn't matter. When it comes to the kids, it's a green light all day for me. I'm not going to stay silent when it comes to this particular issue. Our girls and our women's spaces, it's not okay. It's not okay for women to invade that space. So for all the women that have been through trauma, been through abuse, can you imagine how that makes them feel? They're going with their 13-year-old daughter, their grandma, and their sister to a spa, and all of a sudden they're having a massage, and a man with a penis starts walking around because they deserve to be there as much as the biological women. No, not okay. And this is the same thing we deal with over and over.
Get out of here! Get on your bus! 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 Get out of here! Get on your bus!
Does that look like people that you want standing up for rights of our children? I don't know. Big shout out to the 3%ers today. They did amazing work. The police out here actually did really amazing work today too. Shout out to law enforcement. Get on our bus, get out of here. I just can't. Oh, she's burning sage. Are you burning sage?
Cleanse the place.
I love it.
Get on your bus! Get on your bus! Get on your bus!
Earlier, asking them why they felt so, why this is such an issue. Nobody could give me a really valid argument of why they thought it was okay for a man with a penis to be in an exclusive facility spa with all women. And I mean, these kids are not even 18. 13 years old. 13. A teenager, a baby, like not even in high school yet. 13 years old. Gonna walk in with a 50-year-old man walking around this penis out while they're having a massage in a facility that clothing is not optional. It is literally mandatory. Look it up. This spa in Lynnwood, there's 2 facilities that clothing is not optional. So you're in there, and here comes the man walking around. So anybody that claims to be a female can walk in now. They made them take the word biological out. Men! Men! Security's wanting us to leave. Our security. Men! 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 Before the riot squad disperses them. Men! 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 Okay, you guys. Men! I'm gonna have to end my life. Men! They're trying to get me to my truck. So. Men! Anyway, thank you for hanging with me. Men! I'm gonna try to stay alive a little bit more from my page. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging. Men! Men! I don't want to end it, but they're trying to get me to my car. Okay, I gotta go, you guys. They're trying to get me to my car. So thank you guys. Love you. Bye.
All right, guys. So it looks like we're wrapping up for at least one of the live streams. I know that we've got info to consider. That's all one word on rumble.com that will be going live hopefully very soon if things are still going on. But as things slow down there, it looks like we're going to have an opportunity to kind of just relax a bit for the day. The police were definitely present and they prepared themselves for what was going to be the potential for a big standoff, which we saw. There was definitely representation from both sides, and the police did what they need to do, which is just stay the ground and maintain a medium foothold in reducing the violence that we see at a lot of these protests. So, yeah, assemble, speak up, speak your piece, share your thoughts, share your views. Don't try to shove it down someone else's throat. That's when you're going to have a lot of fight and pushback. And I think that's what the world's getting sick of. I know a lot of the people that I know and from our groups and people that I deal with are just getting tired of told what they have to think and how they have to act around certain people because of the way they feel. So I appreciate everyone for joining me today. I love you guys. And, stay humble, stay gracious. And as always, stay curious. Tune in for CJ TV's further coverage with me, your host CJ, and we'll definitely make sure to try to keep things as relevant as possible. And I definitely take feedback from you if you are able to. CJ at cjtv.live. Hit me up, drop me some thoughts or any ideas of coverage that you feel is important. I'll do my best to get there and cover it as I always do. Ask questions and stay open to the answers. You guys, between now and then, share the stream if you would, please. Set up your likes and subscriptions. And if you've already got them, reset it and do it again and set it up for everything live, post, the whole nine. So do that. Love you guys. And again, I do appreciate the support and I appreciate you being here. We will see you very soon. So take care of yourselves and have an amazing weekend. For all the fathers out there, happy early Father's Day, you guys. I'm sure that this is appropriate for a lot of you guys because this is, it goes against the teachings that we have as men for our children, growing our children and trying to rear them the best we can and allowing them to understand that there's some things that just shouldn't be allowed. So maintain your true North Star, and, it all starts in the home, right? Instilling the best morals, value, and ethical compass that we possibly can into our children. And then we got to let them fly, but let's not push them out of the nest too soon because seriously, at this point in the game, 13-year-olds don't really know their ass from their elbow, and we all know that. So let's let them grow up properly and according to the way they need to grow. Make those choices when they're ready to make those choices. You guys take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.